Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Blarf.
That's not your name. That's this week's artist, Blarf. We're listening to Cease and Desist. This is going to be a short episode. This is a short album.
27 minutes.
Blarf, people don't know anything about him. Some people think it's Eric Andre, but Blarf says he's not Eric Andre, and Eric Andre says he's not Blarf. So I don't know. I couldn't find anything online about it, but I think it could be Eric Andre.
That's
I hope
like
one day on his deathbed, Blarf will be like, I am Eric Andre.
It's like Dr. Stephen Brule and the actor who plays him.
John C. Reilly?
John
Those
C.
are two
Reilly.
different people. You can tell me they're
check
the
it
same,
out.
but I don't believe it.
Check it out.
Well, let me tell you about this album. Cease and Desist is from a genre called plunderphonics.
No way.
Sure.
Yeah, because
you
it's just
plunder samples
aggressive
and then...
samples.
Yeah, okay.
It's called Cease and Desist because none of these are cleared or anything like
Yep.
that. And because of that, it's not available on Apple Music or Spotify or anything else
not on
because
any
it can't
major
be.
yeah.
It is not able to be. It's on YouTube.
Yep.
It is not monetized.
Actually, it is on Spotify.
Oh, it is on
Someone has
Spotify.
put it
Yeah.
up as one single track as
Yeah.
a podcast episode.
Wow,
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah, I listened to it on YouTube because I needed the track listings.
Yeah, I needed the track list.
But yeah, I saw that as well.
That is very funny. That's a good way to get around it. And yeah, so it's just pretty much it's very art. It's like an art nouveau, an art jazz, avant-garde, obtuse, hard to listen to album.
Yeah,
it is
sure is.
purposely hard to listen to, like Transmissions of a Satellite Heart, like Jamie alluded to last week. It is weird to be weird, but this is much more listenable, at least in my mind, because I like electronic music.
Yeah, I don't find it that hard to listen to be honest.
It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
There's like one song that's like 10 minutes of garbage.
I worship Satan.
Yeah.
Yep, I worship Satan is garbage.
It's just
Should be
explosions.
Yep, but I really like the rest of it. But I don't know. I like weird stuff.
Yeah, it's not musical in the sense of like one flowing idea a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And be like, here's an idea. Here's something completely different.
Yeah.
Here's 3 songs that are 20 seconds long and they're all very different.
Yeah.
And then here's a sample from a comedy show.
Yeah.
And then here's the whole Reading Rainbow theme song.
Yeah,
it's
the
just
Reading Rainbow,
all
yeah.
over the place. But I like it. It's fresh. It's interesting. And for the most part, listenable, other than, that one song and chunks of certain songs that we'll kind of go into later. But Jimmy, what did you think?
It's okay. It's pretty funny. I will say, I thought you duped me for a minute, and I don't trust like this.
I don't trust like that.
Yeah,
I don't trust.
I don't trust like that. Yeah, no. But I definitely thought you were pulling a funny on me. But I also like mashups, and they're kind of like plunderphonics. I guess.
Sure.
So
It's
I thought it was
plunderphonics,
okay.
except for just 2 things.
Hooked on
Instead of like
plunderphonics.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I remember I've read the Pitchfork review, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like
It's like
if an
6.4.
album is trying to be hard to listen to and it succeeds, is it good?
Is it art? Yeah.
It's like
Kind
that's
of,
a
yeah.
good question. And yeah, they gave it like a 6.7, so it's 6 times as good as Tool.
There you go.
Yeah. Apparently.
Which I would agree with. I didn't like Tool, and I like this, and it's short, blissfully. Because
Yeah.
if this was an hour long, I don't know.
Especially if you cut like 10 minutes off of it for I Love Satan.
Yeah. There'd be a 17-minute album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I
could buy that.
The best part about this whole album for me is that Eric Andre went to Berkeley.
Yeah, he's like he knows
The
music.
Berkeley
He knows
School of
music.
Music. Yeah.
Berkeley's a very famous music school, and so
Oh man, I like the one comment on the YouTube. The video of it is like, "Do you think his parents are mad that he wasted
Yeah.
a prestigious music degree on comedy?" I guess this record proves it. I was like, yeah,
But the
probably.
funny thing is like if someone else just kind of threw all this stuff together, it wouldn't be listenable. But I actually really enjoyed a lot of it. So like he knows
is a rhyme and
he
reason.
knows timing
Yeah.
and like the opposite. What's the opposite of dissonance? Harmony, but in like a
guess.
weird dissonant way because it's like it's all just samples kind of mashed together. Discordant, yeah. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, someone said on that same video, these are the sounds constantly running through Eric Andre's head.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, I guess it's very odd. If you don't know who Eric Andre is, he is a 40-year-old American comedian. He's got a TV show called The Eric Andre Show, which is a skit talk show, which is, again, very obtuse, surreal, horrifying.
Yeah,
It's like a prank
gruesome.
show,
Yeah.
Yeah.
reality show. It's very odd.
Nightmare,
and episodes are like
nightmare.
15 minutes long. And Nightmare is one of my favorite things to say as well.
Well, it's more spooky because instead of showing the interview as it happened, they showed the interview like chopped up into multiple like pieces.
Yeah, apparently they filmed for hours in like a very hot studio.
Really?
And then they cut it down to like 5-6 minutes of a 15-minute show.
Sometimes the guests like don't even know what they're getting
Yeah, their
themselves into,
agents just
too.
sign them up to something and they go and it's like, oh.
Yeah, and then he destroys his desk.
Yes,
But
he
it
always
is
destroys his
recognizable people. So like even
Yeah.
though they don't know where they are, you know who they are.
Yeah.
And it is very surreal. And the skits are usually very funny. A lot of drinking ranch.
Yeah.
A lot of having celebrities do funny and embarrassing things. Like
Yeah.
Lizzo's on there quite a bit.
LeVar Burton.
She's got his thing is shock humor. It's
Yeah.
very, very shock humor.
Oh, what
That's
was,
this album.
What was the one that he had on where he like throws up on the desk and then slurps it up,
Oh, I,
Yeah,
and
there's
then
lots
she
of
like
ones.
leaves in the middle of it?
can't
There are lots
remember.
of
I
ones.
can't remember, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that's kind of who Eric Andre is. Even his stand-up comedy is called like Do Drugs. And he talks about his experience with drugs and partying and just letting loose and being who you are.
I like his
And,
goofy
he's-
face.
He's funny. He's a funny
Yeah.
guy. But that's pretty much all I have to say about Blarf. Do you have any final thoughts before we get right into it?
No.
Well, I guess it wasn't about Blarf. That was about Eric
That was
Andre.
about
That's
Eric.
if Blarf is Eric
Yeah,
Andre.
we're not.
Blarf is a
100%
clown
sure.
that clearly dresses up
Listen,
like
we'll
Ronald
talk
McDonald.
about who Blarf is and what he looks like because the cover is him.
Yeah.
But let's listen to the first song whose name we won't say when we're back from giving it one last listen. Wow, what an album.
Yeah.
First song is Badass Bull Spit Benjamin Button's Butthole Assassin. And
What a track
one of those
name.
words is censored, but
What a
track
track
name.
name.
Also, what a banger intro.
Oh,
it
yeah.
starts with like a Mario sample. Very risky because Nintendo loves to take things down.
Yeah, they do.
And to start with the Super Mario theme is hilarious.
It's just samples and synths and drums, and I like it. And I think he's just having fun.
It is an assault on the senses.
Yes.
But in the way that my senses are like, ooh.
Tingly.
It
Ooh.
devolves like for a little bit until the drums kind of come back,
Mm-hmm.
but whatever. It's a good track.
Yeah, it has a pretty sick drum thing at the end.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. Kind of after 20 seconds or so, it starts, then it comes back in. The samples are fast and loose, and yet somehow feel cohesive. It's like you can tell what he was trying to do, even
Yeah.
though it is all over the place.
Berkeley, baby.
Berkeley baby, he's a Berkeley baby. And this first song is the longest real song, I believe, at 3.5 minutes.
Yeah,
Sure.
that was kind of the only disappointing thing to me. I heard this first song and I was like, wow, that's cool. And then I look at the YouTube timestamps. I'm like, oh, there's a few that are like a couple, like a minute
minute.
long or
Yeah,
whatever.
or less than 20 seconds.
20 seconds. And then I'm like, oh, and then there's like this big 10-minute chunk. And if you look at the retention, there's like 0. Everyone just skips it, and I found
Oh,
out
yeah,
why.
we'll get there. Up next is Save It, Babe.
It's got a really sick quote.
from
Lil
Lil Wayne.
actually impressed the hell out of me. I never expected
If you
that.
need someone to tell you how to act, maybe you shouldn't have been born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Thanks, Little
ruthless.
Wayne.
He does not want to be a role model
For
at
real.
all. This is a short and sweet song.
It samples Fire.
Yeah, by Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's just turned to 10x speed and played in full.
It's weird.
It's
Yeah.
just like the whole song.
Yeah.
really fast. What's it called? Yeah, it is. He plundered that song. He's playing
Yeah,
it in
he
full.
Yeah, it's that song, but on crack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah. Anyway, Fire by Jimi Hendrix, great song.
Great song.
This song, Save It, Babe,
Pretty good.
it's all right.
I liked it.
Yeah. Up next is Banana, the only song that actively I dislike the beginning.
Oh,
Because
really?
it skips. It like fake skips.
Oh.
And every time I think there's an issue with my record or with my earbuds or something like that. Because it's just like, and then it starts playing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, so
you
annoying.
did it to me
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, every single time I'm like, you boom me. You
got-
freaking boom me.
You got me, Blarf.
Otherwise, I do enjoy the strings and the flute sections.
Yeah.
But yeah, the skipping is annoying. And then it has like a reverse crashed ending. So it's a crash ending, but it's played in reverse and then forward and then in reverse and then forward and then reverse. It's very odd. And then there's sobbing while it's
Yeah, the
doing
crying.
that.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
crying.
very
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, I don't
Crying
like
at
this.
the
It
end.
feels cursed.
Yeah.
I feel sick
It's
by the
very
end of it.
cursed. I like Banana though. It's got some cool drums and weird like sample breaks and stuff.
Yeah, the little banana part.
What a tasty banana. It's like Jazz's Spastics.
It's great. Yeah.
What a banana. Like that.
Like that.
Short drum interlude. Pretty
Yeah, it's like
cool.
the busker playing an upside down bucket drum pattern.
Yeah.
It sounds like me trying to wash dishes.
I was saying it sounds like someone falling down the stairs, but I like washing dishes. That's probably more accurate. Yeah, it's an interlude. It's 30 seconds long.
Yep.
It's not bad.
No, I don't know.
This is a Joji song.
I didn't notice that this song started because if you listen to it back to back with Like That, they kind of just like that just stops, and then this one starts.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It definitely it's crunchy. It's alt rock pop. That's why I was like, kind of reminds me of like a Joji backing track.
Sure. Okay. Certainly.
I wish it was longer, but it's just another 30-second interlude.
Yeah.
It's like changing channels.
Yeah.
You watch for a little bit and you go, not for me, and you skip on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an infomercial.
Yeah, after that's Hella Rhymes,
This
featuring
was
the
great.
song Don't Touch Me, Throw Water on 'Em by Busta Rhymes, with a very heavily distorted backing track.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't? Oh, I really
I like
this
Busta
one.
Rhymes, but I don't like this.
Yeah, it's hard to listen to. It's just like...
I really liked Hella Rhymes. I thought it was short and sweet. I wrote, hot damn, this is great.
It's a minute long, yeah.
I really liked it, yeah.
I like the next one, though.
No,
We're
you
back
don't.
to like regular music.
No, you don't.
Kind of.
What? No, the next one is.
Oh, next one's I Worship Satan. No, I
Yeah.
skipped that one because I would skip this song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's noise for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 12 and a half minutes long with the entire, pretty much the entire runtime being awful,
Yeah.
dreadful,
And then it's
truly
Reading
bad
Rainbow.
distortion. And then there's, right before, 2 minutes before the end, there's a movie scene that plays out.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie, but it's clearly old.
It's really like discordant and unsettling.
Yeah,
Whatever
it is. It's
yeah.
kind of scary because it's like a dramatic scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Then a minute before it ends, the Reading Rainbow
Yeah.
theme song plays in full.
Yep.
As a palate cleanser.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know, but 10 minutes of like, I should get up and move the needle because it's awful. Like,
Your neighbors probably hate you.
it's like an old microphone
Yeah,
outside.
it's just bad.
Well, no, it's the sound of like explosions in like asteroids.
Sure.
Like that,
Is
like
it?
the, like the yeah. I think that's what it is. I think it's just like old crunchy video game explosions.
Maybe.
Oh, I guess so. You can kind of hear like it almost sounds like a pew, 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 pew. Yeah, it's very weird. I'm not old enough to have played Asteroids like Jamie is, but I could hear it.
Space Invaders. All right.
Reading Rainbows is a good song though, so
Yeah.
it ends strong.
Yeah, I wrote
Reading
what a
Rainbow,
legend
great show.
after he finished with Reading Rainbow.
After that's Boom Ba, back to what you'd call regular music. Thankfully, that's where that note's from.
Yeah.
This is a
Samples
banger.
a Public Enemy song.
Oh, I didn't catch any of the calls. There's one where I'm like, oh, that's a Kanye song.
Oh yeah, I like
But- oh yeah, it's this one.
I like the production and the samples chosen.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of subverts expectations a few times when he changes them. It's got a fun ending with the comedy bit.
Yeah, it's got some old school hip hop intro. Then there's like a bossa nova section that comes up like a minute and a half in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it goes back to more rap with a loud industrial backing track.
Yep.
And then you get a
Patton
stand up comedian doing a George Bush joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Patton Oswalt.
It is Patton. Okay, I was
Yeah, I was like, it kind of sounds like him. Describing it, this song is all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Like to go to all those different things, it's like, that's very weird.
What are,
Boomba.
what are we even talking
I
about?
like it though.
The Me in Me,
The last track already. We're already going through it.
original and still the best.
Minute and a half long. It's pretty tame considering what we've gotten so far. It's just a blown out song
Yeah.
with a simple cymbal heavy drum beat. I guess it's kind of nice to have something a little bit quote unquote calmer to end this album, especially after I've Worship Satan, which like leaves me reeling. Like I'm still recovering it from
Yeah.
10 minutes of that now. It's just very weird.
I wrote super distorted final track. I think there's some singing in the background, but you can't really make it out. Incredible.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
so far in the distortion. There's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah. It's like they're not singing in the next room. They're singing like 2 buildings over.
Jamie, any thoughts?
It's sort of distorted like the way I used to listen to music and like when I was in high school, like when you turned the stereo in your car up so loud that you had no idea what you were listening to anymore.
never did that.
I mean, I like my ears.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like my ears.
No.
So
It's almost like when you watch a horror movie and like the killer's been there, something bad's happened in the room, and there's like a record player that's somehow
Still going.
playing something
Yeah.
super warped. It's just like slowed down. It's very odd.
It's really weird.
But that's all the songs. So let's talk about the album itself because this is why I bought it. I'd never listened to Blarf before I bought this, but the album cover is a picture of Blarf, or maybe Eric Andre,
Could be you either.
dressed as Ronald McDonald with a cigarette in his mouth and his fingers making a gun symbol to his head. And in the bottom right says cease and desist, kind of printed on a pink square with yellow font.
What a genius.
And it says Blarf on the top left with a green square with pink font. And on the back, it's a photo of Michael Jackson with his head on fire from that accident. And it's really zoomed in on his on fire head as he's like running away. The top left is a pink square with all the song names and track lengths in that yellow font. The top right is a phone number, which I've never called, and a barcode that looks like it's not real.
Call it right now. Call it right now.
I will. Let's describe the rest of it first. Bottom left, a Pepsi logo. And it says, this album is brought to you by Pepsi. And the bottom right, there is a Burger King logo, but it says Blarf in the center instead of BK or Burger King.
So how did this get sold?
Yeah, and the bottom, there is a UK warning, but it's clearly not real. It's also very low quality. And on the top right of the front, I forgot it, the McDonald's logo is on its side, and it has a line underneath it to make it a B instead of a McDonald's logo.
Incredible. B for Blarf.
Yeah. So if you go on the Bandcamp for this album, you can see the original posting for this album, and it's so funny because it's like, I don't know, $12, $20, something cheap. But all the photos are of the record on a concrete floor, and they're all blurry. So it's like someone just unsuccessfully took photos of it, and I was like, okay. I got it through a repress through Stone Throw Records, I want to say. I paid 65 Canadian for it. Half of that was shipping. It was a $26 record with $21 of shipping at
weird
US.
International, yeah.
It's worth about 80 Canadian now plus shipping, so I'm up still. I would probably pay $65 again just for the album cover, but
it's pretty cool.
$80 is pretty steep. And will it get repressed again?
Who knows?
I don't know. Oh, I forgot. In the background where he's doing the, he's going to shoot himself logo. He's in front of a McDonald's.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's definitely in front of McDonald's.
It's a cool record. Oh my goodness! How could I forget the record itself? It's been so long. Because this one, on the one side of it, the logo just says Blarf and that Burger King logo, and the back has cease and desist and all the track names and times. But it is quote unquote Burger Brown.
Yo,
so it's a burger colored record.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I like that.
Burger Brown, which is perfect. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think of this
Thanks
album?
for bringing us in, Bell. See you next week.
I'm glad I could share this moment with you in what has only been 17 minutes so far. Plouffe, what's your vinyl verdict?
What an album. Honestly, I think as an experiment or an art piece or a statement, I honestly think it's pretty high up there, like an 8 or a 9. I actually really like it aside from the whole
I Worship Satan
track. But frankly, just because of it, I'd probably never play this record. Maybe side 1. When does it split?
So luckily, the first song on side B is I Worship Satan.
I would 100% listen to side 1 and never touch
100%.
side 2 with a 10-foot pole. But yeah, I mean, if I found it for cheap, I'd probably buy it. But it's not. And, I'm a big fan of Eric Andre who likes weird experimental stuff. I think for basically the general population, it's probably like a 3 or a 5 tops.
100%.
But I love it. I'm sticking with like an 8.
100%.
I'm also sticking with an 8. It's like an 8 out of 13. It's fine. It's kind of interesting. I Worship Satan is too long, and it is too loud. Yep. Although Reading Rainbow, fire.
100%. I don't know what I'm going to use as the sample music for this, so that we don't get copyright struck. But I'll find something in there.
Is there
I'm always fending off lawyers, let me tell you.
You're always fending off lawyers. That's true. For other things, though.
So, like I said, I'd probably pay 65, but 80 plus is pretty steep. The story behind the album is cool. I like this lore of him saying it's not him. I like the album cover a lot.
It's very half-heartedly him not saying it's him, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, but it is purposely hard to listen to, and how do you review that? I'm going to put this in the 12th spot.
12th spot?
Below Hot Show by Prozac, and above Wanted on Voyage by George Ezra.
Dang.
It's doing a lot of heavy lifting with the fact that I like Eric Andre. If you don't like Eric Andre, if you don't like weird music or art music, electronic music, surreal music, skip this. Easily skip 100%. This. You've heard the sample. If that's overwhelming, don't listen to it. If you like Eric Andre, if you want to hear something weird, if you like Death Grips, You're the weirdo that would like this. So check it out. And also check out next week's episode where Jamie, what are we listening to?
We're going to listen to Jimi Hendrix's album Live at Monterey.
Did you pick that because of the Jimi Hendrix on
No.
this?
I didn't know that there was
You have a big ear-to-ear grin.
Yeah, he heard fire.
You got
and
a
he's like,
Joker
"Oh, I gotta
smile.
pick
And you're going to tell me it's not because
Actually, I
of
was going to pick a different album before I settled on that one. I just hit shuffle in the car one day, and one of the Hendrix songs from that album came on, and I had bought it recently, so I thought maybe we would cover it. But I was going to pick Procol Harum's live in concert with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra.
that
How
sounds
long-
dreadful.
How
So
long,
it's really good.
How long of an album is that live album?
Well, they're both live albums.
And how much is Jimi Hendrix? How long is Jimi Hendrix one?
It's like 30 minutes. It's
Okay.
like 35
you win
minutes.
this.
That's fine.
I've never listened to
That's
Jimi
fine.
Hendrix. We're still scarred after Tool last week, but I've never listened to Jimi Hendrix. I'm excited to. Well, I guess I have. I listened to this album, an entire song.
There you go.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Sped up. This one is so I like to cover things that are like a historical significance for whatever reason, and this one is a historically significant performance, and we'll get into that next week. But that's why I picked it.
You pick anything else up? You said you got this album recently. Have you bought any other albums?
Have I bought another album?
listen to anything
let's
good?
see, I bought that Tame Impala album.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you bought
it was all
Currents.
warped, right? What
It
do
was
you
all
think?
warped.
Oh right.
I love that album already.
I've actually never listened to the whole thing. I really like Tim.
It is a very good album.
Yeah, Currents is good. I've got the box set.
Is it the one that has
Yeah.
Borderline?
No,
Song Borderline?
that's
can't remember the track list.
No, that's
The less I know, the better.
yeah, that's
that's a good
Yeah.
song.
yeah.
Fuck. Cut that.
That one came warped. I got that one on sale, and I was telling Plouffe about it last night. So I got it on sale for like $20, which when it's normally like a $40 record because it's 2 LPs. But I think Sunrise didn't tell us that their whole stock was damaged.
Sunrise Record, like the mall store.
I didn't walk into the mall store. I bought it online. They had a clearance sale. And the one I had is shaped like a roller coaster. I flattened it last night. Maybe I could talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Bought 2 pieces of Lexan or plexiglass or whatever, and I jammed the record between it, and I stuck it in the oven for...
That make it sound so violent. You jammed it between and stuck it in the oven.
I was so bad.
I threw it in the
They
oven.
wouldn't take it back. That was what pissed me off. They wouldn't give me my money back. They were like, "Well, what, did you open it?" And I was like, "Yeah. How would I know it was warped if I didn't open it?" They're like, "Well, we can't take it back now." I was like, "Okay, cool. Thanks for standing behind your product."
It's not our project. It's Tame Impala's.
It's
They
Tame
dabbed
Impala's.
and they
Yeah,
left
it's
you
the
go.
record label's fault. But anyway, so I put it in the oven for about 10 minutes at 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and it took the warp out of it.
Like a graphics card.
Yeah, or like your Xbox. Took the red ring of death right out of it. And I got now that I have these large pieces of Lexan, I have some more records that I'd like to
I know
take
he's been
the cup
begging
out.
us to flatten our records.
You want to flatten some
He's
records?
like, I'll take all the grooves out.
I'll take the
It'll be the
grooves,
longest record
smooth
yet.
them right out. Yeah.
Plouffe, what about you? You get anything new?
No, not recently. I've been listening to some of my records that I bought ages ago that I haven't been listening to much in the last couple years. So a lot of like Waves and Fiddler, so some punk and pop punk albums. That's pretty much it. I've been meaning to go to the record store 'cause there's a few that I want to pick up. Like I said, I want to complete my Slipknot collection, or at least the first trilogy, basically. But other than that, I have been diving into some other hobbies and being very busy with work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother.
Me, I've been listening to Creed.
What?
Unironically.
No,
Hold
please,
me
no.
now.
Unironically.
Oh, please! If you
I'm
make me,
6
I am
feet
quitting. If you
from
make
the
me
edge.
listen to a Creed,
We're going to listen to the one that has one last breath on it, which
I
is
am
that
gonna
6 feet
quit.
one.
Oh my
that's fine. You're
God.
gonna listen to it.
I actually like Creed, so
Oh my God.
let's listen to Creed one day.
I'm wide open.
Oh boy,
Yeah, no, it's a good song.
with arms wide open.
It is a good song. I can't wait to talk about it someday. I don't own it. I've been listening to it on Apple Music, so you don't have to worry there. I haven't bought any records recently because I'm still waiting for Blonde to show up, and I still have to go to the States to get the Disclosure album.
Yeah.
And I already talked about Begonia,
Begonia.
Oh, yeah,
I still
that's
love
right.
and all I've
saying
been listening to
Begonia.
is Creed outside of that.
Yeah. Well,
With arms wide
You know,
open.
'Cause I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking,
Maybe 6 feet.
yeah,
Something.
Plouffe, end it.
see you
ain't
later.
so far
I
down.
hate Creed
Bye.
so much.